Welcome people, it's your girl Sarbeth, and in today's video, I am going to dish out what's been on my heart lately. I don't fit in. Is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? Okay, so now that I've experienced a few things in life, now that I've gone through a couple of heartbreaks, now that I've gone through a couple of disappointments and setbacks and stuff like that, I can honestly say that not fitting in, I'm okay with it. But I want to dive into this topic more with you guys and just share my perspective on it. So, let's talk. Yes, guys, so not fitting in, oh boy, I've always felt like this. All my life, I have never been the trendy person. I've never been, my parents raised me with the mindset of be a leader, not a follower. Always set trends, don't follow trends, that type of thing. That was drilled into my head since before I could talk. That was one of lessons number one in my household growing up. Alongside education is the key, among other things. God always provides, among other things. But that was always I feel like the most prominent message that kept being repeated. And I was celebrated at home for not fitting in, which is, I feel like now, a superpower. Because growing up, I always was kind of on the outlier of the groups in schools, in social circles. I never quite fit in because I never really just went with the flow of what everybody else was doing and what was trendy. I always questioned everything. I was always curious. I still am curious. I still question, why are things popular? Why is this trending? Why is everybody doing this? Before I jump on and start following something, I need to know why. Even as a kid, my parents cultivated that why. They had open conversations, about why you shouldn't do something, even if it's don't lean on that railing. And I go, why? Because you're gonna fall and break your arm or your leg, or you're gonna end up in the hospital, or I always asked why. I was encouraged to ask questions. I was taken to the library as a kid, and so I was always encouraged to be curious and question and go against the grain. Why is everybody wearing the same thing? And stand out. That was something that I can honestly say made my childhood a good one, because standing out, I was never scared to stand out. Because it was celebrated at home to be unique and be myself, I didn't feel strange, being outside and being the only one doing something or the only one not doing something. I always was, confident and okay with everybody going out a certain way or on a certain path without me going. I didn't feel pressured. I didn't feel bullied. I didn't feel like I had to. I always question motives. Like, why does that look interesting to me? Is it something I want to do? I always question. So any decision that I made, it was mainly off of just me wanting to do it or wanting to, partake in something. So I think it's really important to, encourage uniqueness and individuality, especially in a world where it's cool to follow trends. I cannot get with the trends. I don't know. Am I the only one that feels like this? I know that if I hop on certain trends, my YouTube will take off. If I hop on certain trends, my TikTok might take off. But I just can't. I'm not the type of person that follows trends. If it doesn't make sense to me, I am not doing it. I can't do something just because everybody else is doing it. I rather be the one, the odd one out. I rather be the odd one out. I rather be the fish that's swimming in the opposite direction. I am okay with that. I've come to a point in my life where I realize that's a good thing. And there are people like me that are out there. And I want you guys to know that you are not alone. It's okay to stand out because you are unique, you're an individual, you're being yourself. Because guess what? Your superpower is that nobody else on planet Earth is like you. There is only one you, and you cannot be duplicated. There is only one you. So that is your superpower, and walk in that. God created you with an intricate design. He put you in a specific family, he put you in a specific time where you were born, to this family, this location. You are unique. There is nobody else with your story, nobody else. People might have similar stories, but it will never be the same. We each have our own separate fingerprints. We are individuals and we're unique, and I think that should be celebrated more. And I'm for people. I need to find my group of people who are okay with, going against the grain and not just following things because everybody else is doing it, just mindlessly, just being, sheeple. If you don't know what that means, that's when, you combine the word sheep and people. So, yeah, I have always felt like an outsider, and I have to give my parents credit because I was always celebrated, even though sometimes I got pushed back because what I was doing was weird, or it wasn't understood. They always just allowed me to just be myself. My siblings would just look at me weird sometimes when I decided to wear certain things, but I just always wanted to be my own person and just, set my own trends and not follow anyone. It's okay to take inspiration and be motivated by other people and what they do, but it's not okay to try to full on be someone else and take on their identity. Be okay with who you are and who God made you. It's okay to not fit in. It's okay. And trust me, the more okay you are with being who you are and not fitting in, is the stronger you will be. Trust me, it will save you a lot of trouble. And when I say that, I'm specifically thinking about an instance back in my grade school years where some kids decided to go and shoplift, and one of them followed the other, and the one that followed the other guy into the store, he ended up getting caught and the other one ran. And it's just stuff like that growing up that I use as lessons to say, it's okay to say no to people and not follow just to be cool. What is deemed cool sometimes is not the right thing. And I think especially on this journey of being a young Christian, it even more so like prepared me to be set apart in a way. Like, when you're a Christian, for those of you who are Christian, you understand that when you are a young Christian, it is hard to balance sometimes. It's like a balancing act sometimes, trying to, be a part of the work. I'm so sorry about the noise. They're doing construction and a tractor keeps passing the house. Anyways, so yeah, you keep trying to balance, being in the world but not being of the world. And I guess everyone struggles with that as Christians, but more so I feel like younger people like myself. And I've just come to a point in my life where I realize that the goals and standards that society sets for me are not necessarily the standards that God sets for me and wants for me and that I want for myself. At this point, I am okay with being called boring, or like society has all these labels for people who don't want to do things that are destructive, or join the, like, hop on the bandwagon. And I feel like it's really important to stick to your standards and your morals and your beliefs, especially in this day and age where you can easily get canceled for not jumping on the bandwagon. But I told myself that I trust in God and I have faith in God, and I want to stick to being my authentic self. And I feel like God will grow my channel that way, and grow my, my circle that way. I want to stay focused on God and growth and, learning and becoming a better version of myself, and not waver and not have to sacrifice my morals in order to do that, or in order to gain popularity, or in order to gain a salary. I want to stay true to who I am, and I feel like that means being obedient to God and not following the culture of today's society. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being, the only one on the side, yelling, Jesus Christ is Lord, say no to new age witchcraft. And I know there's a lot of other young Christians on social media preaching the same thing, so I don't feel alone, thankfully. I follow a lot of them, and they're very encouraging and uplifting, and I am inspired by them, and I'm motivated by them to keep this course that I'm on. And I just want to be one of them, I just want to, if I'm going to follow a trend, I want it to be that one. I want it to be one where, you're not scared of standing for what you believe in and standing up for what's right. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on how not fitting in has been accepted. I've just been okay with not fitting in this season of my life. I've come to a point where I don't really care about the opinions of others as much, and I'm getting stronger in, who God says I am and what He says I should do instead of what people say I should do. So I'm feeling more and more so comfortable with just going against the grain and just doing what seems crazy or abnormal or weird to people. You might not understand it, but God, has given me an assignment, and you don't have to understand it. It's just for God to lead me through and just continue to, pour into me so that I can share with you guys on this journey. So yeah, for the most part, don't feel like you have to follow trends. Stay true to who you are, and the right people will find you. Trust me, I have a lot of content creators that are not Christian content creators, but they're either comedians or bloggers or vloggers that I follow, who are just authentically themselves, and that is why I stay tuned into them, because they deliver a sense of relatability because they're themselves. So, stay true to who you are, and just know that your people will find you. The people who are meant to find me will find me, and you're not alone. It's okay to set trends and not follow them. It's okay to be left out. It's okay to, be labeled whatever. You know the truth of who you are and what you stand for. So whatever people want to call you, it doesn't matter. Just stay true to who you are. Be authentically you. There's nobody else like you. You are special and you are unique. So stand firm in your individuality, and yeah, just embrace being who you are and growing and trying to intentionally become a better version of yourself. And that's all you have to do. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I have a special announcement coming up, and I want you guys to share this video, and I will make this announcement if I get to a certain amount of views. And I just want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to be at peace, and know that you are loved and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are chosen and you are special, and you are on this earth for a purpose. So that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.